Hey everybody, this is Meowth, that's right, and today I want to get a good solid discussion going. I know everybody has some pretty strong feelings about this topic, myself included. The topic I want to discuss is whether it's okay to spawn camp or not. I'm also going to explain my views, but first, please take out all your frustrations of the day by smacking that like button around. It'll make you feel a lot better. By the way, that's the only thing that'll make you feel better, just by smacking it around. Everything else is off limits. Let's see if we can get this up to 60 likes. That would be much appreciated. Anyway, in this game, I make the other team feel all kinds of stupid by picking them apart, tearing them down all the way up to a cruise missile, and then of course some of them quit out, and the pace of the game slowed just a bit, but it still made for a very entertaining round. There was also some interesting, like, what the hell lag going on with it, but it's pretty hard to play this game anymore without getting those scenarios, so we just gotta deal with it and just thank our lucky stars that we actually get to play some more Medal of Honor 2010. I hope we get to do this for a little while longer, but who knows what'll go on. I also wanted to remind everyone of the Battlefield 4 beta launch party we're going to be having. If you guys remember how we did the Warfighter launch party, you'll have some sort of idea of what to expect. It all starts October 1st as Wallguy and myself both have early access to the beta, so make sure you guys are there. Now on to the main topic at hand. There's always a lot of talk back and forth about whether spawn camping is a proper way to play a game or not. Many people think it's cheap and too easy, while others think that spawn camping is something only good players can do. So just to let you know, and of course it's okay if you disagree with me because we're all entitled to our own opinions, I think spawn camping is what all great players will inevitably do, and I believe it is completely fair, fun, and it should be a good experience for everybody involved. As you already know, the online FPS genre is a very competitive genre by nature. The goal, of course, is to beat the other team by as much as you possibly can. If that isn't your goal, then maybe you should be playing a different type of game, because that's what this one is meant for. So the main argument that opposes my views generally considers spawn camping a cheap tactic that takes no skill. They figure it's a tactic that anybody can do if they really wanted to, and that of course implies that it's easy to trap people in their spawn. This type of person usually glazes right over the fact that you have to kill a bunch of people on the way to the enemy spawn and stay alive in order to get in position to trap people, since you don't just spawn in an advantageous spot from the beginning. Not only that, but you have to effectively keep the majority of people in one area and be prepared for random players who are of course going to try to flank you here and there. So it definitely does take skill to do. So now that we got that out of the way, the next big thing people worry about is if it's polite to employ this tactic. Again, I'm going to have to say that it is. The point of this particular argument, of course, is that people aren't going to have any fun if they keep getting killed right after they spawn. So a person should not, maybe trap people so everybody can have fun in the game. The thing that they're not thinking about, of course, is the fact that I may not have fun if I take myself out of the action so people can roam before I kill them. Of course, this person might also say, well, tough shit, Meowth, you gotta pull back so some people will have fun, it's not all about you. But then again, this is a competitive game, and I'm trying to be competitive. One of the main reasons that people allow themselves to get trapped in their spawn in the first place is because they dawdle in the spawn after they spawn in. And it's probably because they're tired of dying when they leave the spawn in the first place, so they try to take cover after they spawn, thinking it should be a no-kill zone. Since I want to have fun too, I seek out where the enemy might be hiding, and of course, I find a lot of people waiting in the spawn. Should I not shoot these people that are in hiding? They certainly don't have any dilemmas about shooting me. Believe it or not, game developers have taken all this stuff into consideration, because it's in their best interest to make sure that the game is fair and balanced, so everybody has a good time playing it. If they don't make sure that it's a balanced game, then it's too lopsided and people stop playing it. So to help people avoid getting stuck in the spawn, they decided to design the maps in such a way as to provide cover usually for the spawning team. And in some games they'll have rotating spawns that spawn you away from where the dominant team is to try to limit the amount of spawn trapping that goes on. And in others they'll just flat out let you pick where you want to spawn. And usually these systems allow you to see where it is that you're going to be spawning into to give you some form of situational awareness before you actually spawn in. On top of that, they'll let you pick what time you want to spawn, so you don't have to spawn until you know that it's going to be safe. And that's not all. Most games give you temporary spawn invincibility to make sure that if there is anybody trying to linger and kill you as you spawn in, you'll be able to quickly turn and kill them while you're still invincible if you have your senses about you. All these tools make it easy enough to escape being trapped. You may not be able to avoid it as a brand new player, but after becoming very familiar with what happens when you spawn, you start to figure out ways to avoid being trapped, and you learn to avoid dying in your spawn. This is how I grew as a player. I used to get trapped in the beginning too, but it doesn't happen to me anymore. That's why I believe it's a good experience for the trap players as well. So, being that it's fun for me to trap people, and that I feel it's a good thing for people to get trapped themselves, I'm gonna continue to do it to people. Watch this right here. This guy rubber bands back. This is the exact type of lag that I'm talking about. We deal with this stuff all the time now. I wish EA would fix it. Now, even though we have all these tools to help us escape and, avoid being spawn trapped, people still continue to complain about dying in their spawn. And that's really what caused game developers to decide that they needed to come up with non-combat zones. And seriously, it's systems like this that really annoy me, because while the game, if left untampered with, is still a balanced game, this severely reduces the amount of action that can be had, since an overmatched team is just going to hide in the non-combat zone where I can't get to them. And the non-combat zone also doesn't change the fact that the dominant team is still going to be camping right at the edge of wherever it is they're allowed to be, non-combat zone or whatever, and the weaker team still won't get anywhere near the objective, so that really doesn't change a damn thing. Just as an example, Wallguy and myself have had a good amount of experience running servers with the 2010 server that we had, which was the #1 server while we had it, and our Warfighter server, which is currently the #1 server and has been for some time. The way we managed to get to the #1 spot was by literally having no stupid rules. The only rules of the server are the rules of the game, and the only way that you could be kicked or banned is by breaking those. So, the only real way for everybody to have fun is if they can play the way they want to. This means if they want to camp or snipe, or use that weapon that everybody uses and thinks is overpowered, and even spawn trapping. They're all completely acceptable if that's how they want to play. You should be able to play how you want to play, use whatever weapon you want to use. If you want to use a grenade launcher or a rocket launcher, go for it. There's nothing that should stop you. Now, my best advice, of course, is to just remember that it's just a game, and you gotta try to have fun. Don't worry if you die, just work on getting better. And remember to voice your opinion, guys, and it is okay to disagree. I'm fine with that. It's nice to have a good, healthy discussion. Also, if you didn't catch my last sniper video, it was pretty awesome, so be sure to check it out after this. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.